Okay, cool. All right. Are you okay? All right. Shh. Hey, pod people. This is Doc and the Mexalorian, and we've got a special episode today. We got our friend Rohan, and Rohan used to be a member of a band called Videodrone, and we're going to talk a little bit about music.
And that's also Cradle of Thorns.
Cradle of Thorns, yeah.
So it's Cradle of Thorns / Videodrone.
Yes.
That's the way. That's like the web page and the Facebook pages. It all say that. So
is it?
we
Okay.
go by. Yeah, it's like we are now both the band names.
Okay, so I wanted to get into your whole the whole musical journey, right? So when did you decide that music was like the way that you wanted to go? Like, what was it that that got those musical juices flowing?
The juices were always there.
Mm-hmm.
I was just born with the juice, and my mom would stick me in the bathtub, and then she'd try to get me out of the bathtub, and I'd say, "Hold on, Mom, I gotta show previews," and then I would make a theme music as I took my rubber shark and tossed it across the bathtub, and I'd have scenes for the next episode, and I'd do theme music, and
Okay.
I was like 5 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
And I still, to this day, do that all by myself.
In the bathtub?
Yes, in the
Oh.
bathtub with some of my Happy Meal toys. Oh,
And just to clarify,
yeah.
though, this isn't the adult Happy Meal. This is the kids' Happy Meal, correct?
They have an adult Happy Meal, huh?
Yeah.
I saw that McDonald's was all out of them.
Yeah, dude, they give you get a Modelo with it instead of
Like, oh, that's
No.
Yeah, it's a regular Happy Meal.
yeah, it's just a regular Happy Meal with with
It had adult themes,
yeah, I think it has like a Ronald McDonald dildo or
Dildo.
something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't go to McDonald's, so
It's called the Hamburglar.
yeah, isn't it?
Rabble. Oh,
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I got a grimace up my ass. Gross. Okay, go on.
sorry.
So music, yeah,
I didn't get any sleep last night, so I was a little cuckoo.
that's right.
This 8:30 is kind of early for me.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I mean, no, it's fine. I ain't bitching. I gotta go sell my car today. So
Okay.
after this, yeah, I got stuff to do because music got in the way yesterday. I was supposed to do it yesterday.
And you just got the music juices were flowing.
Yes, the music juices. Not only were they flowing, they flooded.
All
You
right.
could say it like that. Yeah, it was like I wrote the song. Wheeler and me got in an argument at work, and so I went home on my break and I wrote the whole song
Yeah.
like in an hour, 1 hour, and then I came home and finished it after work and made a video for it yesterday, and it's already up and playing. And it's like people are liking it a lot more than my other stuff.
Well,
Which
hey,
is-
yeah, I liked it. And you know what? While we're on that, why don't you go ahead and plug your YouTube and whatever other socials that you have, and then we'll go ahead
yeah.
and move on.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. It's my name, Rowan Cowden. Dinosaur Diaz. Deus. Dinosaur Deus. I gotta stop saying Diaz. It's not Diaz. It's Deus. Dinosaur Deus, like the god.
Okay.
So it's not, you just type my name in, Rohan Cowden, and type in dinosaur and that'll pop up.
Okay.
So, and that's YouTube, that's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's TikTok. It's everything. It's Spotify. It's every streaming app there is.
Well, I'll go ahead and I'll put the link in the description notes.
Okay,
So,
cool.
At least for the
you-
YouTube. So.
Yeah, the
get some people there.
YouTube. You can. That's the best place to go, just because that's me, and I don't get restricted and
Yeah.
pushed around, and everything's on there.
Okay. Cool.
However, the new song, I let a kid who has a new metal page for new metal bands,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's really big. It's New Metal for Life, I think it's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a picture of me on there, and I went and looked at it, and some douchebag talked shit about my band. He's like, worst band of the whole genre. That's what he said. And I said, the worst? Is it the worst band you ever seen? Is the worst thing you've ever seen? So I took a deformed baby and I animated it and
Uh-huh.
I sent it. I sent it to him. It was all, is it the worst thing you ever seen there? Is it the worst? Is it the worst thing? His name was like Buttlick 69 or Puke Boy 69. It's like Puke Boy. It's the worst thing. I thought I would be the worst thing. And it's the most horrifying thing you've ever seen too. It's a disgusting baby. And, and when you animate it, it's even better. So I sent it to this guy on the New Metal for Life and to Puke Boy 69 or whatever. And then the owner of the site liked it.
Hey,
like,
you can't let those trolls
What?
get to you, dude. You can't let the haters get to you. But I mean, if it's gonna end up if it's gonna end up getting the weird looking deformed animated baby, then you know.
It's plastic. Yeah. The baby's so gross.
Okay, so let's go back to the trailer stuff.
It's about the music.
Yes, let's go back to the trailers though.
Yeah, we're there.
Okay.
Yeah, the kid. I don't know. Hold on. The page site guy,
yeah.
the guy that runs the site, he liked it. He was amused by what I did.
Uh-huh.
And so I started talking to him on the messenger, whatever, and I'm telling him like, look, man, sorry about saying that stuff to one of your fans or followers. Well, it's just bullshit because we don't get any respect. You know, it's like, and we invented the genre. You know what I mean? It's like we were one of the main bands that started that whole style of music before anybody, and we do get credit for it. You know, we're considered old school in the new metal, and not that I want to even be associated with that style. You know, I don't, but we were definitely a part of it and helped create it, and so the kid knows who I am already. You know?
Okay, yeah, all right then,
And I'm like, oh, well, hey, man, can't you just add this and that? I was trying to get him to do something for me. And he said he would, but he didn't know how to do that. I said, oh, don't you know how to do this? He's like, man, I'm only 16. I'm like, what? He was a little kid. And I thought it was an adult that I was dealing with because he's like an expert on all new metal bands. You know what I mean? And like all those bands follow his page. He like knows all of them. I'm talking like Korn, Slipknot, like everybody.
Yeah.
And the kid is so cool, man. His dad's seen us live, and like he knew everything about my band except for a few, like the juicy details I told him. You know, about how, you know, we even used the producer of all those bands. We were the first band to use him, which is Ross Robinson. You know, he did Korn, he did Slipknot, he did Fear Factory, Deftones, Limp Bizkit. You know, he did everybody, and it's one of his. I think we were his second album. Fear Factory might have been.
Hey, you're trailing off. You're trailing off there, man. Now I don't know where the hell you are. You moving?
Oh, my earbuds died.
Okay.
Yeah, my earbuds are dead. Sorry.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, actually, I can hear you better. What? So you took your earbuds out?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you better right now. So, are you using your iPad or are you using?
Yeah, I'm using my iPad.
Okay. Yeah. No.
My maxi pad. All right. You hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you sound better.
Thank you. I always like hearing that.
Yeah. The earbuds. You sounded more distant. You sound. I guess the microphone's pretty good on that iPad. So.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's a brand new one. Because my other one I left on top of my car and then drove down White Lane.
Yeah.
And never saw it. That sucked.
Yeah, the iPad Air caught some air.
It did, and it had my Mandalorian like safety protector. So the jetpack sent it flying, and it's gone. Somebody got my great cover and my case and my iPad or my Apple Pencil.
Damn, dude.
So luckily, I just went. I left work and went straight to Apple and got the Apple Pro.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, the Air is better.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be better. It's not. The Air is so much better. And this is the Pro Max or whatever it is, or
yeah,
stupid. The The Apple Air is way better.
Yeah.
Faster.
Mix, which one do you have?
I think Pro.
Pro? Oh, okay. Yeah.
The 12-inch or the 11-inch?
Yeah, that's a personal question, dude. No?
I know.
It's pretty personal, and I could tell by eyeballing it's 12er.
You have special liquid tips. Yeah, I don't have the liquid crystal screen. Mm. Mm. The only thing that's different, besides this mouthful of...
Wait. I might have been wrong. It's 10-inch. It's 10-inch.
10-inch? They have a 10-inch?
I have a.
Yes, no, hey, let me see.
Only when it's cold.
I have a.
Yeah,
I have
it
a
was
Palm
cold last year when I
Pilot.
got it.
A Palm Pilot.
It's old and of no use anymore. So.
Oh.
I just got the cheap iPad version. Mine's not even the Pro. Mine's just the iPad.
You got the regular iPad?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, you should get the Air. It's cheap, dude.
I just wanted something for filing, really, and then we might use it for more recording later on.
Yeah.
I use mine for music, like everything, video, music. Like I don't even pull my keyboards out of the closet, dude. They're in the closet, and they haven't been out of the closet from years.
Are they gay?
They totally are doing. Yep. I believe so. I believe my Korg is sticking it in the other Korg's Z1. You know what I mean? That's
the keyboards just play show tunes.
It's getting too hot.
Okay, hey, all right. So let's go back. You were talking about. I mean, we talked about like you doing like movie trailers and doing like the music for the movie trailers when you were a kid, and so the movie previews, right? Okay.
Things for next week.
Yeah. So you were into like movie music, basically, because I know like the music that you play isn't like, you know, you're not sitting there playing like, you know, Beethoven's Fifth and things like that.
I kind of am. My music is even described to me from an outsider that doesn't know me. They described it as cinematic.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's why I think that like I think that your music kind of is it's like an ambiance, right? And would you
my stuff, like the stuff that like the keyboards, maybe not the rest of the music, but the keyboards have always been like movie type.
Yeah.
And I sample a lot of stuff from movies when that was okay to do. You know,
yeah.
And a lot of people love that. It was like, oh man, that one, you had Twin Peaks, man. Like I saw that whole episode. You got like most of the samples from that, huh? I'm like, yeah, I did. That's great.
So when you were like starting out though, like how old were you when you kind of like stared getting heavier into playing music? And was it always just like that kind of like, you know, like movie trailer type music?
The thing is I had an 8-track player,
mm-hmm.
and all I had, it was 2 8-tracks. I had Star Wars, the theme music, and I think the other one was my mom's, but it was like Grease or Barry Manilow.
Okay, nice.
So and I never and Xanadu. I think I had Xanadu.
Oh my god.
Xanadu. Yeah. I don't know why, but I did have that. And that was it. I never got any other 8-tracks, you know, because they went out of style pretty fast, or I was at the end of that style.
Yeah.
And then I didn't buy a cassette or a record or anything until I was like in 8th grade, and I got Weird Al Yankovic, Eat It, or whatever it was, or the one that had the Safety Dance, the Brady Bunch, Safety Dance. You know,
I don't even remember
it's Brady
that one.
Bunch.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember which album that is, but I can't.
And
off the top of my head.
Kaiser.
Oh yeah.
That week, what a disgrace!
Yeah.
I guess the trap got too lazy. Yeah. I could sing the whole song to you.
Yeah.
I don't know how I remember it. Holy
Yeah.
shit. And so I didn't. That was the only music that I had, was just like soundtrack music and Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
And Weird Al's just imitating famous songs, so it's like I'm still getting exposed to what's popular,
Mm-hmm.
with just different lyrics.
Yeah.
And I loved like movie music. That's what I liked. And I was already playing flute at school. I think I started in 4th grade. And I hated it because I was the only guy with 12 girls. And then the conductor would always say, "Now, ladies." And it wasn't even cute ladies. It was like all the nerd ladies.
You
And
were
I
the
was,
cutest one.
yeah, I kind of was. And at least thought I was. No, sorry, that's an inside joke you guys won't get.
Yeah, that's okay. If listening, then he'll be
I
like,
didn't say his last name. I did not say his last name.
that's okay. You could tell him. I don't know.
Yeah. And then there was and there was a couple other ones.
I'm gonna take their names out, but
Okay.
like,
I think got arrested for being like a major coke dealer in town, and yeah, he turned out real crazy. And then his cousin is one of the biggest drag queens in Bakersfield, and so all gay, I guess.
all
I
right.
don't know. I think I don't know. They all play tetherball. I know that.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Just an observation. I was studying them in the wild.
Yeah. No bottle caps. No bottle caps. Do you know anything about that? Never mind. I dabbled in tetherball a little bit in college. In college.
I'd only go there during the week when nobody was there, or during the weekend, and then we play tetherball.
Yeah, I mostly played tetherball with myself. So,
Well, that's one game you can do by yourself.
yeah, sure. I never played tetherball. I hated playing tetherball because I was so uncoordinated. And this is like legit. This isn't like some kind of weird whatever you were saying
Straight up.
tetherball was. But like I was so uncoordinated. I'd sit there and try to hit the stupid ball, and then all that would happen is I'd hit the rope, and then it'd wrap around my wrist. And I'm like, I hate this game. And then I go and try to throw it off, and then get a fucking rope burn on my wrist.
Yeah, I always got a rope burn too.
Yeah, nah.
I didn't play it very often.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was for girls and 2 guys.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, no.
It really
Anyways.
was. It really was, and they were all clarinet players. So
Okay. I don't know. I like woodwind instruments.
I like to blow on it.
Yeah.
You hold it between my legs. It goes to my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, clarinet was very, very gay, very gay. And then I switched to trumpet soon after the next year
Okay.
because I was like the worst flute player. I had great tone, but I just didn't want to be there, so I wouldn't play the songs the way she wanted me to play them.
Yeah.
So I was last chair or second to last chair because the retarded girl was last chair, and her name was Susan, something like that. That was her name. She wore the same dress every day, and
Maybe she was a cartoon character.
She's the main character, guys.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's true. Cartoon characters never change.
Nope. One time when I was I was in the sketch group. I told you about that, right? Every time we would meet, like I swear for like every day, every time that we would meet, I would always wear the same clothes because I wanted to see if anybody would catch on, and like that I was like pretending to be some sort of cartoon character. And the only person that caught on was like the only person that I actually got along with in the group, and he thought I was hilarious. He thought I was the funniest fucking person in the world. So,
But you don't think the other people just didn't say nothing because they thought, "Oh, Dave doesn't have any other clothes."
no, these guys were fucked up. They would have said something. They just didn't pay any attention to me. They're like, whatever. Like they were.
I noticed shit like that. And like there's Ghostbusters shirt guy that I deliver to all the time, and every time he's wearing the Ghostbusters shirt, he never takes it off.
Yeah.
And one day he wasn't wearing it, like years went by, and in 1 year he just didn't wear it, and I freaked out. And I said, "Where's the Ghostbusters shirt?" "Oh, it's getting washed."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's true. There were certain customers like they would always wear the same thing, like the 80-year-old guy who always came to the door in his tidy whities and his wife beater shirt. You're
Oh, yeah.
like,
See, I thought he had no shirt
nope.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. And they
No,
were
this was
dirt.
a different place, but yeah, maybe there was like the same area. This is when I was
Uh,
out in a different pizza place. Okay.
all right,
Anyways, music.
back to the music. I quit the trumpet, and I was a natural at trumpet,
Hmm.
and I was first chair. And then she moved me to advanced band immediately, and then I was in advanced band. I was always second chair, never quite got to first, but I was second chair, and I was just naturally good at it. And then one day, I had the trumpet sheet music at my house, and we had this old piano that nobody played, and I just started playing it by reading the music of my trumpet music and figuring it out what it was on the piano.
Oh, okay.
And so I started. I could read. I figured out what notes were, which notes they were, and so I could read my sheet music, and based on the trumpet. And then I started going to church, and so I would have been seventh grade, eighth grade, I think, and they had pianos in every room, you know. And I just sat down and started playing all the black keys in the piano, and I
Mhm.
started writing songs all with the black notes. And a couple people noticed, and one guy, he was like 25 years old. He was my buddy. He's a DJ for Crab Radio or KKXX, whatever it was. And he thought he'd start playing too. So he started playing the black keys as well. And he took my song and turned it into his song and played it for the whole church. And I'm talking like 1,500 kids, okay? And like, oh, that's my song. Thanks, dude. All right, that's my song. And I was bitching about it in the back to Mavis, who was there by chance. And I had listened to his demo tape, not knowing it was him. You know, it was pretty good because I didn't realize that it was very Led Zeppelin and Police style. And I didn't know that because I didn't listen to either one of those bands. But the bass line was sick, you know, and I'm all, man, that bass is sick. And it was all delay and real heavy delay, fretless bass. And it was very complicated music because it's like kind of like Rush in some ways.
Okay.
And because of the drummer, it was a super group. It was just three guys, and they were a super group. And but Mavis was a badass. You know, he was the lead singer and the bass player, but he was a badass bass player.
Okay. What year was what year
this
was
would have
this?
been 86,
Okay.
80, 85, 86 maybe. I don't know if I was driving yet. I might have been driving. If it was driving, I was 86. But Mavis took me under his wing, kind of, because he liked my taste in music, and I had a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And I convinced my dad to buy me this $200 keyboard from this guy. And I played him a OMD album. Do you remember OMD?
No. I don't.
Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark.
No.
OMD.
Never even heard of him.
Secret. I got a secret and I can't explain. You never heard that?
No. Maybe.
Oh, wow.
Maybe.
Huge hit in the 80s. Well, I had a CD of theirs that I won in a poker game from that radio DJ.
Uh-huh.
And I played it for my dad and said, I could do that. Because they were all keyboards, you know?
Uh-huh.
And it was just like some cheesy, like three notes, real easy. Well, I can do that. I want this keyboard. And my dad bought it for me. And then I never played it. I didn't play it. I played it by myself, but I couldn't do anything with it without a band. And me and Mavis started talking, and we had a recording studio at the church. And they let us have keys to the studio if Mavis would record the choir songs for them.
Oh, okay.
So we have access to this full 16-track, reel-to-reel Mackie board, super nice recording studio. And we recorded almost every night till like 5 a.m. And basically, I had to drop out of school because I never could get up and go to school because I was up all night recording. And then I formed Cradle of Thorns.
You were okay, and you guys were recording on tape, right? Like the big reel-to-reel tapes, right?
Yeah, it was a 16-track reel-to-reel.
Okay.
which Mavis just recently bought. He bought the exact same machine.
Oh, cool.
He told me this last week. He has the exact same setup we had back then, and he still has the tapes that we did back then. But did you know that those tapes deteriorate, and you have to bake them in the oven in order to save them?
Yeah.
You put them in the oven, you bake them, and then you get one more shot at playing it, and then you have to digitally copy it right then.
Oh, okay.
If you don't digitally copy it right then, you're gonna have to bake it one more time, and you might lose the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I'm like, you actually cooked the tape, dude? And he's like, yeah, that's what they do. They bake it. It's so trippy. He only lost a couple parts and a couple songs. Like a bass line was completely gone. It just disappeared because it wasn't baked right.
That's funny. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He took it out. He overcooked it. Yeah, I mean, that's what I learned last week about reel-to-reels, the old tapes. It's been 35 years at least, maybe even more, and he still has the reels.
Wow.
And that's what a lot of people have. They have these reels, and they digitally remaster them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got to transfer the digital, and the only way they can do it is they have to bake the tape. They got one try at it, and that's it. Bake the tape, get the tracks transferred, and then you can mix it.
Yeah. So you and Mavis are the ones that started Cradle of Thorns.
No. Chris Coles and Ty and COB, which is Christopher O'Brien, and a guy named Jay Caruso. They started a band called Shrieking Clowns, and they recorded a song called Bury Me, which is a Cradle of Thorns song. Okay, it was the only song that was good. And I loved Bury Me. I'm all, man, you need keyboards, guys. Why didn't you asking me? And I'm all, you guys can have a show at my house. My parents are out of town. And we invited all these punk rockers and goths. And it was in the country club on the east side. And I hit the garage door opener, and the garage comes up, and they're playing the songs. And we had candles lit everywhere. And they basically had a small little concert in my garage. And they only played 2 shows as Shrieking Clowns. And then I convinced them to start a new band. And I came up with the name Cradle of Thorns. And they got a girl named Mary Ann who was on Bury Me. Mm-hmm. And Bury Me was the shit. That song blew up. And I mean, to this day, that song's brought up to us all the time. It had a girl vocals, and it was all goth, and nobody was doing goth. And it was getting really popular, goth music. I think The Cure was getting huge, and fucking Bauhaus was huge.
And so, was this around 86, 87?
This would have been 87, 88.
88, okay.
88. And we did we wrote 6 songs the first week, all with the same 3 chords, because COB only knew 3 chords. Mm-hmm. And my keyboard parts all sounded the same. And we went and recorded the whole thing at some studio. And now we have a demo tape.
Okay, so you weren't recording at the church at that time?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
That's coming. So we did 2 demo tapes on cassette first. And then CDs weren't out yet. They were just coming out.
Yeah.
And I think I got my first CD around then. And we researched and found out we could make a CD. And no bands in town had done that yet. So we made a CD, and we recorded it at the church. And Mavis produced it. And Mavis's band, he was in the Lonely. And they recorded at the church as well. And so both of our bands put out CDs at the same time from different companies. So theirs was all multicolored and packaged real cool. And ours was black and white and cellophane. Yeah. It was still good, but, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Fancy. They paid more than us. But it was popular, man. We only made 1,000 copies, and I still have 2 of them. But they're numbered and everything, so they're worth quite a bit if you have a copy of it. I think they're going online for like $50-$60 a piece.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That's in Japan. I don't know why it's in Japan.
So you guys are still big in Japan, huh?
Yeah, it's huge in Japan. I don't know why.
So
Uh,
at that time, you weren't like Cradle of Thorns wasn't a thing yet, right?
yeah, that's when it became a thing. Cradle of Thorns. Yeah, that's when it started. Right then, uh, we practiced in my living room for years, and then our bass player wanted to quit to join the Mormon Church to marry a girl named Tammy, and then Tammy ditched him after he became a Mormon. And and so we had to get a new bass player, and then we had to get a new guitar player, and that basically became the Cradle of Thorns were that we are.
Okay.
So we had our original guitar player didn't want to do it anymore, so we got Dave File, and he's the one that's on all the CDs.
Okay.
So yeah.
So
And,
what year would you say you guys were like officially Cradle of Thorns and as the current, I guess, lineup? Yeah.
well, the Remember It Day CD, the first CD, we did that in 1989, 1990, and it came out in 90. And we played on that for a long time. We got a record deal with that over the phone. Coles talked to this guy on the phone and convinced him to give us a record deal.
Oh wow!
And he did. He gave us a record deal, and he already knew who we were, though I know it. But and we were making a name for ourselves in L.A. in the goth scene.
Okay.
With a Christian Death, Roz Williams, and they were a huge goth band. But Roz Williams formed his own side project band called Shadow Project, and we had the same manager. So we played a lot of shows with Shadow Project. And Chris and our bass player, my drummer Chris, and our bass player Scat, I don't know his real name, he's just named after Hanimal Poop. Scat, they wrote 2 Christian Death albums for Roz, for our record company.
Okay.
So they paid them, and they had to do it in one night. They had to write 10 songs in one night and record them all in one night. And they did it. And there's two Christian Death albums. That's my band playing all the music. That's kind of cool, by the way. Not very many people know that. I don't think we've even told anybody that. I don't think we were supposed to tell anybody that. No, who cares? Roz died, so who cares?
So, okay, now you guys, you would consider yourself or that the band like early on or always like goth music, or would you say that you were goth inspired?
We were goth for sure. That first CD, yeah, it was goth. I mean, that's all I listened to. Industrial, goth. I loved that kind of. I didn't like the goth of today. I hated Marilyn Manson. They suck. I like Nine Inch Nails and stuff like that. I liked industrial music more than. It's sort of the same thing, though. It's in the same genre. But we were becoming more industrial. And we had 6 people in the band, and all 6 of us liked different stuff. So it really morphed into a unique sound. So, it'd be a little punk here. It'd be a little hip-hop-ish. This will be, really commercial alternative music, and then you'd have me wanting to be darker and, not so poppy, It's just a big mix, a stew, you could call it, a stew of music, and it came a whole style from it, and it even had a little Seattle vibe to it, because Ty
stuff.
Yeah, his voice had the goth, and it had the the Seattle yeah. I call it the Metallica but it was Seattle for sure. He loved Alice in Chains.
Oh, okay.
So he sounds like him on the CD, not live, but on the CD he definitely sounded like Alice in Chains. But it was an interesting mix. I don't know if how people took it at the time. I know it grew on a lot of people, and we were really good live. That's really what got us where we were at. And then we did our second CD, we got the record deal, and we did our first CD, Fetus, and that had every song was completely different. and that got critic acclaim. It was in all the magazines. It charted in some alternative charts. Uh, yeah, Flesh was on that album. Yeah, uh, and all those places that we charted, we just go play, and we'd have sold out shows and stuff, and that was really cool at that level, because usually at that level you're touring and nobody's really heard of you, and you're playing for like 10 people at a bar, and then you're just like, that's a good show, right? Yeah, I guess. But it started really taking off, and then Korn came out, and they asked us to tour with them on their first headlining tour. So we were their opening band, and that was awesome.
Okay,
because it was like,
were you?
Side.
I'm sorry, I would keep interrupting, but were you Cradle of Thorns when you did that? Okay. All right.
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. We have 3 albums under the name Cradle of Thorns.
Yeah,
and we were signed as Cradle of Thorns when we changed the name to Videodrone.
Yeah.
So that was just a name change in the middle of the album being recorded, which I regret to this day. I regret it. It was the biggest mistake we ever made.
Changing the name?
But, yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Very stupid. Especially since there wasn't such a thing as a video drone back then. And now, if you type in the name Videodrone, you get a bunch of people's cameras flying in the air.
Yeah.
And they didn't exist yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
Well, the name change, like, was it because, like, was Cradle of Thorns just not, like, the image that you guys were trying to, like,
no, that
convey
was
to
fine.
people, or?
Nobody could ever get the name right. Like, It was always Crown of Thorns.
Gotcha.
Crown of Thorns. It's always Crown of Thorns. And then this Swedish or Norwegian metal band, like black metal or whatever they are, Cradle of Filth comes out.
Uh-huh.
And we're in a magazine on the same page with them. Like, they're on on the other side of the page, and we're on the other. The Cradle bands.
Yeah.
Fieldy holds it up in the studio window as Ty's recording vocals, and is laughing, and that's sort of what did it. It's like, let's change the name. We don't have to keep that name. We can change. This is the chance we have to change it right now, which we could. I mean, it made sense. If you're going to do it, you do it right then. It's like the whole world's going to find out who we are, and we can be a different band, and it didn't matter because the XXX Records just stuck a sticker on all the Cradle of Thorns CDs that said "now known as Videodrone."
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so you were saying though that Korn went ahead and asked you guys to tour with them on their first nationwide tour, right?
On their first headlining tour.
Oh, okay. All right.
They had already toured for a year and a half straight on one album.
Okay.
And then they went into the studio for like a month and did the second record for 1 month. And then they're back out on the road. And they were touring with Ozzy and the Deftones.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like every other day. And so on the off days, they'd play their own shows in smaller theaters. And that's where we were opening.
Okay. And you guys were Cradle of Thorns at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
And we were touring on our second album, Download This.
Okay.
So, which was it was perfect for the Korn scene. It was all like rap rock kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Industrial rap. And the girl was gone at this point.
Okay.
And we had like 20 songs. it was good. We had a tight set. We were so good live at that point. Like, we could blow anybody off the stage. We were just fucking tight. Because we'd been touring nonstop, and playing the same songs every night. And we were just tight as you can get, and we could make songs up right in front of you on stage. And you wouldn't even know that we just made it up, that kind of thing. And we were just the best band we ever could have been, or ever were, I think, was at that period. So,
but before you were like touring with Korn and stuff, was your band and Korn, like, were they like were they kind of tight? Did they
Yeah.
did they just know of you, or you guys
Oh
all?
no, John was one of my best friends. He lived with me sometimes. He'd stay at my house all the
Okay.
time. Like I had like a mat that was on the floor or whatever, and for our bass player that would come into town to practice. And then when he wasn't there, John would stay,
Okay.
and because he didn't want to live with his dad or whatever. So and he didn't have his own place, so he was staying at my house.
Okay.
And right up to the point when he joined Korn.
All right. Yeah, I was
And
just curious because I mean I didn't know if like you guys actually like hung out or if they just heard of you and were like, yeah, come along. So
no, Chris Coles went to Highland with John and Fieldy. So two of them went to Highland,
mhm.
and two of my members went to Highland. Three of my members went to Highland, so they all went to Highland. Dude, all the celebrities that this town created went to Highland. You know that? It's really trippy. You know, several other people. There's a jazz musician who's won Grammys. Same class too. That's weird. Garland Tesla works for King of the Hill. She's the executive producer or whatever now, or writer. They all went to Highland.
Buck Owens didn't.
I know, right? I don't think he had to go. He probably went to Highland Elementary. Oildale.
I think all they had at that time was BHS. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And South High. I
yeah,
think.
maybe, yeah, but yeah. So okay, well, so the whole touring thing, I kind of wanted to know like what was it like, the progression of like doing small venues and then going to like opening for Korn.
I know.
Like, what was that like?
Korn and Rob Zombie. That's an arena tour.
Yeah, I know that was
I-
like your peak right there.
Yeah, and even bigger than arenas, where they call them barnyard shows, and they're basically big fields,
Yeah,
and with like 32,000 people or something, some ridiculous number, to where they had to have extra speakers in the back because of
Yeah.
the echo. So you could see Chris hit his drum, but you wouldn't hear it for a few seconds, that kind of thing. And it was ridiculous. Those shows suck.
Yeah.
But the amount of people is just overwhelming. That feeling's awesome. The way it looks,
yeah,
that's cool. But you don't sound good. You can't hear. It's an awful show for the band, I would say.
yeah,
And even the big arenas, awful show. Those were okay. My favorite's theaters, like 2,000 seats theaters,
mhm.
or 15,000 seat, something like that. Smaller places. Those are awesome. Like we played the Aragon Ballroom. I think that's in Chicago or New York. I think it's Chicago.
Yeah,
That was like the famous gangster from Chicago. What was his name?
Al Capone.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
That was his place.
Okay.
Yeah, and Korn sold it out, and we got that, so we played it, and it was so cool, man. That place was awesome, and so ballrooms. I would say ballrooms and like Fox theater size places
Yeah.
those are my favorite. That's like middle ground, right? You got a couple albums out, and you're getting popular.
Yeah.
That size of venue.
Okay.
Other than that, they're like clubs. You play clubs that are a little bigger than bars, but they're real concert clubs. We don't really have any of those here in Bakersfield. We did. I'd say maybe that 90 whatever bootlegger bar in Rosedale.
Okay. What about Jerry?
1933?
Jerry's sucked.
No, what
Jerry
did you say,
sucks.
Max?
1933?
Yeah, I heard they have a great stage.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of bands actually go there.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a good place. So
Jerry's isn't anything. It's just a fucking basement.
yeah, it's just a basement with like a 2-inch stage.
Yeah, but like, there's
The
been
last-
some
the-
crazy acts that have been there though. Like,
Oh,
some
yeah.
yeah,
wild.
yeah. Just
shows.
because it's kind of like a hole in the wall. It's like, oh,
That's
fuck,
what makes
it's
it
Bakersfield.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what's
exactly.
cool too. It's like, and they made it look good down there. At least it looks like a concert.
Yeah.
It looks like a club because it's not like a pizza place downstairs. Mm.
The last like spot where it was like almost like a legit fucking concert hall was the Dome.
Yeah.
Besides
Yeah, the
Rabobank Arena, but
Well, the dome had terrible acoustics. It wasn't really designed for concerts. My friend's the one that booked a lot of that stuff, Curtis, and
Alright.
a lot of the shows. And then there was that one guy. I can't remember his name. Started with an M, I think, or something.
Tim
No, Ardea did too. Yeah, but Curtis sometimes worked for Tim, but started doing his own thing. He did Freak Fest and all those shows, and like Cottonmouth Kings and Head PE and Chevelle. We and he let my band open for him all the time. Like he loved our band, so he'd always have us open it. And that was Throat Shot. It was my hardcore band. So we played with a lot of those shows. A lot of times it was at the Dome, and it was really hard. The acoustics are so bad for the sound man. He couldn't get a good sound mix until the crowd was in the place to absorb some of the sound, and so the Dome was a little difficult. I get it. It looks beautiful. The place is awesome, and it has 2 spots that you can play.
Yeah, that's another thing. It had 2 different spots.
You had the bar.
I like the bar more.
Yeah, me too.
Just because it was a little smaller. It wasn't as small as Jerry's. It was a good spot for shows.
Yeah, we played there once.
There. Huh?
And we played there once with Deadsy.
I played there 3 times. My biggest one was with I don't know, it's a band called Alisana, and then Skylit Drive was there with them. It was a fun show.
Was that in the bar or was that in the big room?
No, it was in the bar. It was a tight show. They were actually Alisana was filming a music video, so everyone was fucking going nuts at one point.
That's
but
cool.
They said all of the footage and everything's getting deleted because someone stole one of the band's guitars.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. There was footage of 2 of my band members doing backflips out the fucking like one of the speakers, and just going fucking nuts the whole fucking show for them. And it's not on there because someone stole the band Memphis Mayfire's guitar, and it's just like such shit. I had my fucking card checked for it, and it's just like, dude, I'm fucking here. If someone's stealing your guitar, they're fucking leaving. Like, but fuck, dude.
Not necessarily. Sometimes they have it in their vehicle. That's what happened to us, and we caught the people though.
I don't know. At least because it was at the end. They didn't catch it at the like mid. We didn't get fucking questioned until like everyone was already dead.
When they realized,
we were there because we're a fucking band. We were fucking loading up blasts with everyone. It's like, what the fuck? But whatever. Like I was like, dude, go for it. Trust me. I love you guys. I can't do that to you.
I know. Why would they? And they're accusing you guys. Did they accuse everybody? Or
no. I think the main thing actually was our guitarist had a similar guitar, but the real difference was color. Theirs was brown. Ours was purple.
Okay.
It was literally a fucking big difference. But someone said we had a Schecter guitar, and that's what they were using. So that's what they were looking for.
You never found out who did it?
Nah.
That sucks. Usually you find that out later.
Yeah. Someone's playing it or some shit.
Yeah, and they tell you because the band's not here anymore. It's like, so and so stole that. Oh yeah. Oh. I've seen that happen a lot. That sucks. Yeah. That sucks. I'm not really familiar with that band. They're not from here, or they are from here.
I think Memphis Mayfire is from Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense.
And then Alisana, I'm not 100% sure. I know a few bands were from California, but not all.
Okay.
But Alisana was the biggest one. Fucking best. Crazy.
And they're the
show.
They're the ones that lost the guitar, or was the Memphis guys?
Memphis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they were fucking heated over it too. Like, I get it, dude. They were like one of their like main guys with them, but it's like, fuck, man, that sucks.
Well, now what are we gonna do? We're gonna have to buy another guitar. Yeah,
exactly.
Borrow one of the other bands.
Or dude, buy one from Guitar Center and then return it. I don't know if you're that desperate.
Let's get a shitty guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't Sector a shitty guitar anyway?
I don't know. They were complaining that it was like a $4,000 guitar.
Oh no! Really?
Like, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's custom,
I don't know what I'm talking about. I thought the name Sector, I associated it immediately.
No, I'm sure I think they have beginner guitars and shit, but I'm pretty sure it's a big brand too, to where like if people are sponsoring their stuff, they're gonna make them top of the line, you know.
I get my guitars at JCPenney's, so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Mine's a free stack from Walmart.
I got mine at the fair throwing golf balls at chimps.
I'm still trying to get mine from Six Flags, man. That Batman's gonna look good.
Yeah. No, I really do have a guitar from the fair.
Oh, shit, is it inflatable?
No, it's an acoustic.
Oh, okay.
It's a piece of shit.
Does it smell like funnel cakes?
You earned it though. That smell sticking to it would be sweet.
Hell yeah.
I think it has funnel cake on it.
Nice.
Sweeter.
Yeah, I think Lauren had like 4 funnel cakes when we went.
You got an acoustic guitar, like they serve the funnel cake in the acoustic guitar. This is the weirdest bowl, but I'll take it.
And it's all small too. The guitar's like, it does look like a Happy Meal guitar.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure it's not a ukulele?
Yeah, it's like the size of one, but it's a guitar.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. It's just a piece of shit. You know?
Let's go. I want to go ahead and talk. Let's talk some road stories, man. I want to hear some crazy ass road stories. Because I mean, I know like early on, I'm sure there's crazy things that happened. But as you guys got bigger and you started touring with Korn and Rob Zombie, and by the way, I went to the show that you guys had here with Rob Zombie and Korn. It was the one where Korn had the cage on stage.
Yeah.
And that was an awesome show. Like honestly, your guys' music isn't my that's not my usual type of music, like all that stuff. But every once in a while I like to listen to it. But I was like totally blown away by the whole show. So but yeah, so that's just cool. Tell me some stories of
I would say at that point, that tour though, I think that was Korn's peak.
Yeah.
When they were just bigger than ever, you know.
Yeah.
It was that album, and which is the Follow the Leader album.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob Zombie was really popular too. He had the
Dragula.
Yeah, song.
Yeah.
And I don't have too many good stories that I can tell.
You can't tell because you're not allowed to, or
well, I'm not supposed to tell any of those kinds of stories about that tour, but I could tell you some stuff.
Oh, because because it's still under investigation, or it's involving other people.
They have rules, you know. What goes on the road stays on the road.
Gotcha. Okay, well then tell me just stories that are like personal for yourself. You don't have to say anything about other people.
Well, okay, remember the Columbine incident?
Uh-huh.
You know?
Okay,
this
is...
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, okay, eggshells, man, eggshells. Go ahead.
So Columbine happens while we're on tour, okay? Uh-huh. And I get in the elevator with Rob Zombie and Sherry, his wife, and we're in this elevator, and I never talk to Rob. He doesn't talk, all right? He's never around. He's always in his trailer or his bus, writing his script for 1,000 Corpses, Houses of 1,000 Corpses. So his first movie.
Yeah.
So he's writing the script on the bus. So we hung out with his wife all the time, and so now I'm in the elevator with Rob, and and he's got his trench coat on, right? And he had I watched him the night before, and he's wearing the trench coat, you know. And so I asked him, "Hey, did you wear that trench coat last night because of the trench coat mafia, which was the Columbine killing?"
Yeah.
And that just happened. He's like, "I wear the same thing every night."
He's like, "Fuck them." Like,
yeah,
they stole my look.
I turned around and didn't say shit after.
Yeah.
I just offended him. I basically confirmed that I did not notice what he wore every night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just noticed he was wearing a trench coat the other night. I thought he must be the serial killers. He loves serial killers. Must be the trench coat mafia, and turns out that Rob Zombie and Korn and Marilyn Manson were all blamed for that too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they'd been blamed yet. I hope not, because that would have been even worse.
Yeah.
Did you wear that because of the trench coat mafia? I wear the same thing every night. There's just silence. There's just silence after that. That was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, but okay. All right, tell me some more. Tell me some more crazy stories on the road.
All right. I'll tell you a crazy one. All right. This would be we're not in. This is Cradle of Thorns.
Okay.
So I think we're in Denver, and there's this girl there that threw the show, and it's like usually when the club owner throws a show, they take care of the band. She had cooked us all this food, made it herself. That's great, and then invites us back to stay at her place. Okay, and like, okay, they'll save us hotel money. She's supposed to, get us food and pay us money for a hotel. No, she makes the food and then invites us to stay at her house. So we get to the house, and it's like 10 dogs inside the house, and the whole place is like shit everywhere. There's
my God.
Dog shit everywhere. There's dog shit, and everything's chewed up, and there's this big giant. I'm talking not little dogs. I'm talking German Shepherd, Great Dane sized dogs with logs the size of cows. It's just like huge poos. And there's not just poop. There's like stepped in poop and footprint poop. So even where people have stepped in it and not cleaned it up.
God.
And yeah, it's everywhere. So I go back outside and I get in the van with my roadie. I said, I'm going to sleep in the van. And so everybody else is inside, and Dave File gets in the shower, and there was like this. We tell the weird girl, she's weird too, man. She looks really gross and she's weird, and now we know that she lives with shit, and she cooked us food around shit, and we know all this. Now imagine somebody that lives like that, what their shower might look like. Okay.
Yeah, I'm picturing it.
Yeah, I can't even describe it. I just remember there was like some kind of green shit that looked like that was growing and hairy, and it got on Mavis's dick. I was like, how did that happen, dude? He's oh man, don't tell anybody, okay? And I'm telling everybody right now. And it got on Mavis's dick, and but before that. Dave File, he gets in to take a shower. He's in the shower, and we tell that nasty girl that Dave wouldn't mind her taking a shower with him. And she walked in there and tried to get in the shower with Dave.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he's like, oh man, he's like, you think the shower's gross looking? You should have seen her. Yeah, and then Mavis gets this shit on his dick, and hold on, it gets even better. So that whole night ends, and then we go to Florida. About a week later, we end up in Florida, and there she is again.
Oh my God!
And she invites us back to her friend's place, and for some stupid reason, we decide we're going to go back. We're going there, and she roofies Ty and Chris, and now they've been roofied. The date rate.
Yeah.
She roofies them. Oh, and I think she roofied Mavis too, and she started touching them all.
Did you feel left out because you weren't roofied?
I was disgusted. I was just like, oh my God, dude, what are they doing? And then she bit a hole in Mavis's dick.
God,
I was like,
damn.
Not only has he got green shit on his dick, now he has a hole in it from her nasty teeth, snaggletooth, and like she's trying to get with Ty and Chris, and then we get to her house or her friend's house. It has a hot tub. So we all get in the hot tub. And there's like a table, just solid drugs, every drug you can imagine. And it was just like her roommate or whatever house. It was his place. And they have a Dalmatian. The Dalmatian is scared to death. It's under the table shaking and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we get in the hot tub and we're kicking it. And then her roommate keeps coming in and he's all, are they all ready?
Huh? Oh my God.
Yeah. Like roofied, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he sits in between me and David. He's all, scoot over, guys. And he gets right in between us. And he's all, so, how you all doing? He's super gay, okay? he's waiting for her to roofie us so he can, date rape us with the Dalmatian. We find out he has sex with the Dalmatian, and that's why the dog is in trauma. And
God damn,
shit.
dude.
I'm serious. He abused the dog.
Hold on,
And,
wait. Where was this at again? What state?
Florida.
Of course. Of course.
Sex again.
Of course. I think we had.
He wasn't in those news articles, man.
I think he was one of those, because one of those articles was some dude that was arrested for having sex with a dog and filming it. So.
Oh yeah.
I
thought it was a chicken. It was a chicken, wasn't it?
No, it was a dog. He dressed
It was
up as a dog.
Cock on cock.
No,
Oh.
dressed up as a dog and then would film it, and then he was arrested. He was allegedly doing it. Yeah.
Wait,
but
he dressed up as a dog to what? Fool the dog?
I don't know, man. Like
That
people
would
do
work?
Some weird stuff. I don't know.
That probably freaked it out more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, go ahead, carry on with your story. Of course, it's Florida. Fuck.
That's pretty much it. I mean,
Yeah.
she tells us about how they have sex with the dog, and the dog was like scared to death, And I was like, wow. I'm gonna go sleep in the van again.
you guys do what you gotta do.
I had my first dog was a Dalmatian. I didn't want to fucking look at that thing.
Yeah. No.
My dog's name was Cannonball. That one is never mind.
Yeah. You're like, some jokes don't need to be told. Yeah. That's that's wild.
I don't know. Sorry about that. That's just one of the wildest stories I got.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, no, that's okay. And then,
I mean, it could have gotten worse. I mean, they could have actually had sex with the dog in front of us.
yeah,
But I would have had to pretend I was roofied, because that's what he was waiting for. We had, luckily, a couple of us weren't roofied, so we were like sober minded and saw what was going on. So the dude never got a chance at anybody, but he was a predator waiting to penetrate.
yeah.
There's
Oh God.
Yeah, it was a little freaky.
Yeah.
Let me
And
think if I got any other ones.
okay.
We went to like New Orleans. Actually, this story is on that documentary. It's on Prime. Bones of Brundage or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much majority of the stories are my band stories.
Yeah.
But it's told from our bass player, and he left some shit out. And so,
Yeah.
and he never once said he was in Cradle of Thorns. Just tells the story. They don't realize, the people watching the movie, that it's our story. That he just never mentioned it, that he was in the band, because he was also in Big Jed, and they had the movie's about them too. So he was representing Big Jed instead of Cradle of Thorns, but he told the Cradle of Thorns story. So we're in New Orleans. We go to the graveyards, right? So the graveyards are all above the land.
Yeah.
So they aren't underground. And they're fenced off by big giant walls and iron bars of complete gothic horror movie stuff. And they're locked. You're not allowed to go in them. All right. These are off limits. You're not supposed to go in. These are ancient tombs, you can almost say, from like way back when, and we fucking jumped the fence, and we get in there, and we're walking all around, and some of the tombs are broken open, and you can see bones and people,
Okay.
Yeah. Ty puts his hand in there and pulls out a skull cap, and it's a human skull cap, and he's holding it, and he wants to take it. Yeah, like, no, dude, no, you can't take it, man. You got to. That's against the law. That's like a federal offense, man. You got to put that back. He's like, no, man, just let me keep it. He's all, this is awesome. This is awesome. I'm like, dude, you don't want the voodoo curse shit, and you also don't want the law. Put that thing back, man. We made him put the skull cap back in the tomb. Okay, so we keep horsing around, and we leave, and then about a week later, I forgot where we're coming from, but we're heading back through New Orleans, and he decides that he wants that skull cap, and he starts ordering us to go back to that cemetery so he can get that skull cap, and it ends up in a huge band fight, and the band breaks up.
Shit.
Yeah, it was. I mean, violent fight between him and Chris, and I don't know if I might be mixing up some stories. There's been so many of those crazy nights.
Yeah.
But I think Cole's kicked Ty in the chest, and Ty flew out of the van while we were driving.
Damn.
Something like that. It was insane. Yeah, and it got pretty wild, and so the band broke up for like a day, which would take 2 days to drive back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
wild,
that was
man.
the skull cap, all for a skull cap, and I decided that I'm not going. Oh, I went the wrong way, Ty. We're not going through New Orleans now.
Yeah. You were the driver?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, sir.
Were you the driver
Night-
all the time?
Yes, I was the night driver,
Oh, okay.
and then Dave was the day driver, and Ty and Chris were not allowed to drive, and because Chris was scary, so scary, like he drove one time, and I remember waking up, and we're going up an off ramp, or on ramp, a ramp that.
Oh, yeah. The wrong way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. How he did that, I have no idea. You know, he just turned on it like he could make a right turn onto the ramp and head on up. You know, it's like, no, dude, that's oncoming traffic now. Yeah, he's oh shit. You know, it's like, oh, you're not driving. You don't know. And then Ty's awful driver too. And what's so ironic is that he's a semi truck driver now. That's scary. Yeah, I guess he's doing good, but you know, I didn't trust his driving, so I insisted on driving, and that was good. I only almost killed us twice, and I saved us 3 times. We had this trailer and motorhome that was given to us, and Chris was so happy. We had a motorhome, man. We could tour everywhere with this. Yeah, that sounds great. Let's go down to LA for our show a day early in the motorhome. Okay. So Ty comes with us. It's me, Ty, and Chris, and we're driving the motorhome up the Grapevine.
Oh my god!
All equipment in it. It's packed. And Chris and Ty are in the back of the motorhome, and I'm driving it, and the transmission totally goes out, and it starts rolling backwards.
Oh shit!
And semis are flying past us, and I'm in the middle lane. Okay, so I can't see behind me because it's packed with equipment. You know, I got side mirrors, and I got Ty and Chris in the back window telling me what's coming.
Oh god!
And yeah, fucking hilarious. Hey, what's coming? And screaming, just barely missing semis, and I'm backing down the Grapevine, and I managed to get us to the side of the road, and on less of a slope, and saved. But yeah, I probably went about 2 miles, 3 miles down the Grapevine. You know,
Yeah.
I get, yeah, no brakes.
God
you know?
damn.
Or no, I had brakes. I didn't have any way to go accelerate.
Yeah.
What it was, and I had to get to the side of the road, and it was too steep to, and I couldn't like change lanes because I couldn't see, so I had to rely on them, and all I could see is lights coming. You know, and it's hard to judge how far away they are. You know, it's nighttime. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was an adventure.
And now, let's ask a Brit. This segment we call Ask a Brit, where we ask 3 British men who represent all of England a question.
Alright guys, we are Wayne, Lee and Kempen of the Pooh Finger podcast over in the UK.
Hello.
Thank you for having us on the show, and we're here to answer your questions as genuine British people.
100% authentic.
Yes.
So I hope you...
well, as authentic as we get, you know.
Yeah.
Being British, we're a big mix.
We live in the middle of the country, for reference. Slap bang in the middle of the UK in a place called Leicester, or as a lot of Americans say, Leicester. I hope our answers are sufficient and shed some light on our British ways. So the first question, is tea time still a thing? And what time is tea time? See, I would say tea time has always been a thing.
Yeah.
However, it means different things for different regions. Because I was always in the impression, I don't know if it's the same for you two as well, that tea time was dinner time, aka evening meal, main meal time.
Yeah.
That was
I
tea
had
time.
friends that did refer to dinner time as tea time. I personally never used the phrase, and my family didn't.
Well, we used it either way, tea time or dinner time.
But we don't call it tea time either. We'd be like, your tea's ready.
Yeah. Yeah, your
And
tea's
tea would
ready.
refer to your dinner, your evening meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if maybe it'd be interesting to hear their context of tea time.
Yeah.
Because I
whether
think
they
some, not saying all Americans and everything, but some Americans think that it means the time we have actual cups of tea.
Yeah, tea and biscuits.
Yeah.
No,
Or cookies, as
I
you
can
guys
see
would
how
say.
that would conjure up
Yeah.
that image in your mind
Yeah.
because it's quite a literal term, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's tea time.
But that isn't what we do in our country.
No.
No.
Tea time is any time you're thirsty and you want a cup of tea. You have a brew.
Yeah. Which is all the time.
Yeah.
And
it's
we don't
customary.
microwave the water.
It is
No.
customary over here that if you enter someone's house, the person has to make you a cup of tea.
Legally.
Or offer to make you a cup of tea. So if you have a worker over, like a handyman or anything like that, first thing you do is, do you want a brew, mate? And do you want to put the kettle on? And it's just a customary thing. That's the British thing to do.
Yeah.
Minimum of 2 sugars.
So if you're looking at literal tea time, that is all the time. But if you're talking about tea time as in dinner time, which is what we refer to it as, then yeah, that's what it is. However, my wife is from the north of England, and tea time to them is lunchtime.
So like between 12 and 2.
Yeah. So when you would have lunch, that is tea time,
Yeah.
which can be quite confusing. However, we live in the Midlands, so we
Yeah.
go by the Midland way.
And I think in the south it's more of a mix.
Yeah, either tea or dinner.
Yeah.
Dinner or tea. It's both the same time. It's like
Yeah.
6 p.m. evening meal. Yeah, so I hope that clears that question up. Next! Well, this is a second part to that question. Do you like coffee or tea more, and what do you put in it? So, me personally, I prefer coffee over tea. I love coffee.
Yeah, nowadays.
Yeah, but yeah, I never used to. It became an acquired taste over the years as I got older, having a brew.
Yeah.
So I have coffee generally, but I will accept a tea, and I do like a cup of tea every now and again, like on a cold winter's night. A cup
Yeah.
of tea. It's always the same. 2 sugars, tea bag, boiling water, let it stew a bit, give it a stir, add some milk with the tea bag still in, get to desired colour, take the tea bag out, chuck that away, give it a stir. Robert's your mother's brother, all fine and dandy. There you go, that's a cup of tea, perfect cup of tea.
A good way to know when your tea is at a good brew strength by the colour is does the colour of the tea match the skin tone of He-Man?
Yes,
That's when it's...
He-Man is the perfect tone
Yeah.
to have your cup of tea. Just think of He-Man's sweet, sweet abs.
Yeah.
And that's what your cup of tea should
Yeah.
look like. When it comes to coffee, just coffee granules and boiling water and
Freeze-dried
sugar,
coffee.
and then the milk.
See, I'm a bit different. So I do prefer coffee to tea. Won't turn down a cup of tea, but I would prefer a coffee. In our house, we're a bit of coffee snobs. So we don't have instant. We have beans. So you have to grind the beans.
Guy.
And then we've got like an espresso maker.
You put the effort in. So I'm not
Yeah,
that bothered.
it's such a faff. So we end up with lattes most of the time.
The most that the closest I come to grinding my own beans is using my Tassimo machine. No,
I have one of them.
my Dolce Gusto, I think it is. Not the Tassimo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the taste is better than instant. Like,
Oh, yeah.
There's definitely a difference, but yeah, the
Yeah.
effort. Like ours is like barista style. Like you have the thing that you clip onto the machine,
Yeah.
pours the hot water through, comes out in 2 little streams.
If I
Like, it's
could be-
such a faff. It does take literally like 5 minutes to make a cup of coffee.
If I could be asked to put in the effort, then I would prefer that over
Yeah.
anything. But
Yeah. And we steam the milk as well.
Do you?
Yeah. We've got a steamer that's attached to the machine, so it's literally the whole shebang. But it's such a pain in the arse. Yeah, I have full fat milk. My partner has oat milk, the barista edition.
Can't milk an oat.
You can, drip by drip. Yeah, and we've just got some coffee syrups as well. So we're currently enjoying. We've got a white chocolate one and a hazelnut one. It's nice.
Yeah, I have to admit, I've become a coffee convert.
By the way, for your listeners, Kempin is suffering from a sore throat from sucking off too many hobos.
Settle down. But yeah.
Keep telling you, stop swallowing.
Oh yeah, I've become a coffee convert. Used to drink tea all the time, but yeah, nowadays, every day, at least 2-3 coffees. It's almost an addiction. Yeah, and every time, milk, 2 sugars, freeze-dried coffee, put it to the top, stir, neck it, pretty much.
Neck it.
No, not neck it, no, because that would probably make my throat how it is. Oh, sorry, my trousers rocked up.
Wonder why the table was tilting. It's your hands. Definitely not your penis.
Thank you guys over at the Pooh Finger Podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
Probably shouldn't be talking about that stuff.
That's all right. I'll cut that stuff out, man. Yeah. So, and then some of the stories too that you told, like, I mean, you can, that were a little personal.
You can play whatever you want. I don't care. You know, I didn't say nothing that incriminated anybody. I don't think. And besides Mavis, I mean, Mavis getting green shit on his dick.
Yeah.
I could tell you that what I told. Oh yeah, I gotta tell this story.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to tell these stories. This is again one of the rules you're not supposed to tell.
Okay.
This kind of story, but this one's okay because I've already told a huge crowd of people.
Okay, so this one could be on. This one could be on the podcast.
All right. So Mavis is a pimp on tour. Okay. Uh-huh. He'd been living in a van for 2 years. At the beach. He didn't. No shower.
A beach not down by the river. Got it.
Yes, and that's true. He was definitely that. He'd go to like a church to get coffee and donuts. And that he was just not getting a job and wait until we got a record deal. Mm-hmm. That was the plan. It worked. So now he's a pimp, like every girl he can get. And so we're having a party on the bus. And you got a front section and you have a back section. And in between is the bunks. So, and I have a video camera now. Okay. I bought the best video camera money could buy. And I'm videotaping our party. I'm in the back party room. Then there's the front party room. And I'm heading to the front party room. And I open the door. And there's Mavis, butt ass naked, with legs coming out of the top bunk wrapped around his head. And he's standing in the hall of the bus, and these legs are just coming out of the bunk. And they're wrapped around his fucking head, and his dick is curled like a banana. Okay, boing. And Mavis tries to interrupt when I tell the story. Han, my dick's not crooked. Oh yes, it is. Yeah, I saw it. It was so hard that you had like scoliosis of the dick, dude. And he's like, no, Han, it's not crooked. My dick's not crooked. I'm like, yes, it is. I have it on videotape. And so what happens is I'm like, oh my God, Maeve. And he lifts up one of the legs and he just stares at me and he makes this smile that is so funny, but he smacks his lips. Uh-huh. And but it's the look on his face that is to die for. That was the funniest shit. Yeah. And then he puts the leg back down over his face. But I told his farewell or going away party. I told that story, and I imitated him, and I do a pretty good Mavis imitation, and I could do his face. So I killed that night. I had all these stories, and it was all his best friends. It was like 50 people, maybe more, and I basically told stories I wasn't supposed to tell, and he was so embarrassed. But I mean, I got away with it, and he did interrupt me a couple times trying to tell everybody his dick's not crooked, but it is. It's got green shit.
That's the other thing about being in a band for so many years. You've seen everybody's dick.
Yeah.
You have. It's not a gay thing. It's like, hey, nice dick. Thank you. You like my watch? And they wraps his dick around his wrist. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That kind of.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Lots of dicks. It's like Jackass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, a lot like Jackass. We even Cole's on the first Korn tour with them. They'd pay him like $40-$60 to get naked and run down the street. And we were in Chicago. It was freezing, or someplace like that. It was ice everywhere, and they paid him $60 to stick his dick to a frozen pole.
Oh my god!
And it stuck. The thing stuck to the pole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was hilarious.
God damn.
Yeah, we have a whole portfolio, like a picture binder of Cole naked across America. So everybody had to do a nude in some public place, and Chris did it everywhere. They got me when I had hepatitis, so I was yellow.
Okay.
And I'm in a bouncy castle. I'm bouncing, and I'm all yellow and naked. Oh, it was horrifying. Yeah. Coles is like everywhere. He's on one of them green dinosaurs at the Sinclair gas station. He's completely naked. He's in a Subway next to a ad on the window. It said 6-inch flicker ruler, but the L and the I were too close together, and it looked like fucker ruler. And I have a picture of that, and Cole's completely naked with a 6-inch fucker ruler on the window at Subway. Yeah. He was in like fields of corn, in like Ohio or someplace like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, Iowa. Everywhere we went, he had to take a naked picture. So the entire portfolio is naked across America. And,
should be a coffee table book, man.
Oh, dude, you could totally sell it. It'd make money. It's funny shit too.
Okay, so what I wanted to ask though, like, and I mean, maybe this could be like the end, the end of the questions, and maybe the end of the podcast here pretty soon. But what kind of led to the downfall of the band? And I know that you played in bands after Videodrone / Cradle of Thorns, but I know that was your big band, and then I know you guys are all out touring and all that stuff. And like, how long were you guys touring with Korn and Rob Zombie and doing these big shows? And then how long after that was going on that you guys just kind of like just it fell apart? And what was
it? Another year later, I think. Because we toured with Orgy and then with Machine Head. We were supposed to go out with Godsmack, and Filter.
Okay.
And that's when things started going wrong, because Ty had said something that wasn't true to Orgy's tour manager, and that guy just happened to be Filter's tour manager. So we had the Filter tour. We got it, okay? And the same day, we got kicked off of it.
Oh, wow.
So, like, you got the Filter tour? Yeah, fuck yeah. And then 2 hours later, they just kicked you off.
Shit.
Oh, because Ty said something that he shouldn't have said that wasn't even true.
Mm-hmm.
And that tour manager didn't like Ty, so he got in the way and screwed that up for us. And then Godsmack were blowing up. They're getting huge. And we were supposed to be the opening band, but Ty wanted to take a break, get married. And so he did that. And so we gave up that tour for him to get married to a chick that he got divorced to. So it's like...
we all make mistakes.
Yeah, the biggest mistake there was you can't stop.
Yeah.
Like, Korn proved it. Korn toured for like 3 years straight, nonstop. Just kept going. Stop, make an album, go again. And that's how you get huge. Huge. You just don't stop. If you take breaks, for loved ones and family, you might as well just quit. Like, I hear 21 Pilots are going to retire, because they're huge right now. Mm-hmm. But he just had a kid, and he wants to retire to raise his kid.
Yeah.
Which they've made enough money now. They're massive, huge. He could probably live on that the rest of his life, or at least wait till the kid's old enough to where he can start playing again, But
that tripped me out. It's like, well, you got to give up something, man. It's like, if you really want to make it huge, like really make it, you got to give up all those little life perks, or what the normal life of, that people live.
Yeah.
Career or school, a girlfriend, a wife. You can have a dog, but somebody's going to have to watch it. And mine got stolen. So when I was on tour, this crazy fan stole my dog.
So
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, you guys stopped playing because the lead singer wanted to focus on family for a little bit.
He just wanted to get married, and then he needed a month to do that, I guess. And when we went back out right after that, it just that was a big tour that we shouldn't have passed on.
Yeah.
Then we got the filter tour, and that's when that got screwed up, and it was just like, oh, that's not good, man. What are you doing? He said he'd just get really fucked up and say fucked up shit to people.
Okay.
Yeah, he's having a hard time, I think. And he knows it, that he was. And he's totally straightened up.
Yeah.
He's a different person now. But and Coles knew what was going on, and nobody else knew. I was completely blind to the whole thing. I didn't even know, because I didn't care. I was just like, you guys handle the business. I'm just going to do the music and the art. La 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 la. That's all I want to do. Don't bother me, And so I didn't know what was going on. And Coles was the only one who had a clue, and he was like trying to talk us into kicking Ty out and getting a different singer. I said, you can't change the singer, dude. You can't do that. I mean, at all. You just can't do that. It doesn't work. And I guess it does work for some bands, but I don't know. I wasn't around when they switched singers. You know what I mean? And it's usually because one died,
Yeah.
But I couldn't. I stood by Ty. I don't betray anybody. I'm loyal.
Yeah.
And then so Cole's he basically joined Edema, and he bailed on us, and so that was it. It's like we lost our drummer, and then our singer didn't want to do it anymore, and so it's just me and Mavis. And that was it. Me and Mavis were left, and we tried to form another band, and it was a really good band. It was a great lineup, and then that fell apart because of they went to Europe for a month, and my girlfriend dumped me, and I just went off the deep end after that. I just felt like I lost everything, so everything just fell apart.
Yeah.
And, so it was just terrible. It was actually the lowest point in my life. I was just shocked. Like, I can't believe I got this far, and now it's just over like that. Unbelievable. And I jumped back pretty fast though, and had a couple bands after that, and Throat Shot was really good. We had a good shot. We had a real good shot at things, and then that fell apart because of religious reasons. And now the singer has a church of his own, so he has a pastor now. And which is good. He's a good guy, He helps people.
That's good.
You never would have known it if judging Throat Shot. You never would have known it. He literally he changed, But that band was good. That band was really good for that kind of music.
So I guess one last thing that I want to talk about is the influence that you feel that your band had, because I know Korn is kind of known for starting like the new metal, right? As far as like making it a thing.
They're known for that because they used a guitar that nobody had anymore, and they make the 7-string now because of Korn.
Yeah,
that's what really is the signature sound of that style, mm-hmm. which my band did not do that.
Okay,
we didn't. We tuned normal. They tuned down to like A and G or something like that.
Okay.
That's what the new metal thing is technically. But I mean, I think it's more of a hybrid sound, kind of like Linkin Park. It's a little hip hop, a little punk, a little industrial, a little metal. Mix that all together, you got it. So it's like a super group. You got Depeche Mode, you got fucking Alice in Chains, and then you got Sex Pistols. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
put that together, you got new metal. You
Okay.
got to have a rap. You got to have a rapper though, and it just sort of changed once Korn made it so big. It just became that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's tuned down. You got to have a dreadlock guy in the band, at least one.
Yeah.
You know, and luckily we had me.
Yeah.
So, but that was even before that, though. You know,
I know.
It's like, now, if you look at the new metal pages, like that kid I was telling you about, the New Metal for Life.
Yeah.
You look at all the bands on there, and it's like, I swear I saw my band. Oh no, that's not my band. You know, they got a guy with Ty's haircut. They got a guy. They got a dreadlock guy. They got a short hair, bleached out, spiky haired guy. You know, and the dreadlocks. They got to have a dreadlock guy. They all have a dreadlock guy, and but I mean that's the style, I guess. You know, the clothing and the look go right along with the music, and the music's usually hip hop metal. You know,
Do you
like
Limp Bizkit? Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think that would you even say that you guys are like new metal?
No, I
don't,
wouldn't.
yeah, I don't think so either.
No,
But for some reason you get lumped into it.
yeah, but and all the new metal people usually say no, they're not really new metal.
Yeah.
But we were there helping it become new metal. You know, it's like
Yeah.
us and Korn definitely had a good fit together, especially like on our second album when we were heavier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that fit right in. It's like Videodrone was not as heavy as that. It was darker, but it wasn't as heavy as what we were doing. And Ty rapped a lot, and he didn't rap on the Videodrone album, and that kind of sucked. I wish he would have rapped, because that year the white rapping metal guy blew up.
Yeah.
And that was the year for that. You know, Limp Bizkit all of a sudden comes out and is huge at their second album. You know, with the Nookie or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know, like a chainsaw, or all that shit. Which is good. You know, it was good. It was popular. You know, and the point is that he was rapping, and we were told that we shouldn't do that. You know, it's like, yeah, you shouldn't. You know, Ty doesn't need to rap. Actually, he was a really good rapper, and his lyrics are amazing. It probably would have been cool if he did. I think we would have been even bigger. You know, but whatever. We were definitely on always the first surfer on the wave, and never got the big wave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And which is fine. I mean, we'll go down in a little bit of history. Like, we're in a couple books, you know, a couple movies. You know, we're in the Gothic Bible, or whatever it's called, the Goth Rock Bible.
Yeah.
You know, there's a chapter on us, and it calls us probably one of the most underrated bands in the whole scene, which is pretty cool. That's a huge compliment. So, you know, and that's kind of what we are. Like, when I started this new thing, I got on Facebook and started doing Facebook Live and shit like that. And all these guys and like bands and stuff started messaging me. And I actually felt like I was a like respected musician for a change. You know, it's like keyboard guy, nobody respects the keyboard guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because that thing was the band right there. That the sampler.
Yeah.
That thing. Yeah, without the sampler, we wouldn't even be able to play. You wouldn't even recognize the song.
Yeah.
You know. So that instrument, I had to have the sounds loaded right on time, and I got good at it too, because you had to have a little bit of time for the sounds to load. And I'd be playing the song, and I'd be loading the next song as I'm playing the song. And it was tricky. I got good at it though.
Yeah. Well, and like, excuse me. And the thing, like, when I watched you guys play, I remember the feeling that I had. I'm like, why do they need a keyboard player, right? Now, first of all, I'm not a musically inclined person, right? And my hearing isn't the best. So, you know, I don't know what he's bringing to the table. But then, like, as I got older and kind of like thought about it, and especially like with your guys' music, and like what we said earlier, like it was you would play like the ambiance, right? Like you kind of like would be like the mood. You set the mood
I
for the music.
I set the mood and I changed the mood.
Yeah.
I I've really altered what each song would be like, and with Videodrone, our guitars sounded like keyboards, and so I started getting heavier sounds to be like the guitars. So we kind of almost switched roles on certain songs, where I'd be the heavy guitars and he's like the pretty keyboard. That happened twice.
Oh, really?
The heaviest songs we had, I was playing the heavy guitars on the keyboards, and he was playing the pretty guitar. It sounded like a keyboard.
Gotcha.
It sounded like strings, yeah. So now the Videodrone was very keyboard heavy, like where our drums. He was doing like he had a V drum kit, and he had a sampler where he'd trigger loops, and he'd play to his loops. So that's all like keyboard shit. So the drums and me and the guitar were all synthesized. So it was very keyboard oriented, very tricky, not easy to pull off live. That was really hard, but we did do it. I'd say about a week into the tour, we finally got it. Some of the songs are real hard to play.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up and go ahead and promote your new music and your new YouTube one more time.
Yes, it's Dinosaur Deus, like Dinosaur God, Deus, Deus, Dinosaur, Deus, Dinosaur Deus. And I don't know, it was just a lyric in one of my rap songs that was a joke. And he says Dinosaur Deus, and I thought it was cool, so I had called it that.
No, dude, this has been good because I've enjoyed talking to you about it. I think that you did. You talked about what I wanted to talk about, and that was just like what it's like to kind of be on the road, and then what it's like to get to be in a band that kind of, I don't know, the rise and fall of a band, and also
I left the best part out. The cliche joke that Spinal Tap set up, and we actually went out like that.
What, with a miniature Stonehenge set?
No, worse.
Okay.
Our final show was a fucking bar mitzvah.
Oh my God.
For $20,000.
What?
Yeah, we played for 30 minutes for $20,000.
That's a lot of money for a bar mitzvah, though.
Oh yeah, the guy who invented Gotcha shorts. Gotcha. You heard the surf outfits from the 80s?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. It was a way to literally, that is almost insulting because it was like set up through Korn's wife, Fieldy's wife.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was done on purpose to say, well, that's how bands are supposed to end.
Yeah, yeah.
And they say it in movies all the time as a joke.
Yeah.
And that really happened. Yeah. Bar mitzvah.
A bar mitzvah. Nice. Yeah. I
mean, if we had to let the kid learn one song, and he played bass on one song with us.
Really?
Yep.
God.
12-year-old. And that was our final show. So, I don't know.
Yeah. A bar mitzvah. Way to go out, man.
Yeah, it was the most money we've ever made for one show.
Holy shit. Even when you were touring, like big tours?
Oh, yeah. Not 20 grand, dude. 20 grand's a lot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Dude. And they wanted to hire the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
So you were like option B?
Yes. We were like a lot cheaper.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It'd be like $500,000 or $1 million. You know what I mean?
Hey, let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Sounds good. Oh, I thought we already did.
No, I'm kind of, we're going to wrap it up. And,
wrap it.
Yeah, wrap it.
Well, thank you very much there, Doc.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to thank everybody for listening. And, yeah, it was informative. and also, you got some wild stories, and maybe one of these days we'll be able to hear some of the more wild stories that you're not allowed to talk about.
I can talk about some of them. I told you I gave in. I gave you the crooked dick.
Well,
yeah,
you might have to get approval for some of the other ones. So
yeah,
but we're cool with hearing some more wild stories, and
Yeah, anytime you need somebody on here, I'll gladly do it. If you need somebody to be something, I'll be that. Like, we're gonna interview Hobo Todd.
Oh, you're gonna be Hobo Todd?
I'll be Hobo Todd.
All right.
And I only
Sounds
can find me at Fast Strip, the one
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah, I do. I honestly, man, like